Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today we've got an Anthony Davis build. So quite recently for the Lakers, Davis has been playing really well. It's sort of shown glimpses of what the Lakers can do when they play really well. So make sure he's a power forward, and we'll move on to the body settings. So on basketballreference.com, Anthony Davis is listed at 6'10". So that's the height we're going to go with. In terms of the weight, we're just going to drop that down to 222 pounds. So I've just dropped it a little bit just to get some speed and other things like that. And then for the wingspan, we're just going to push that to the max, which is 7'8", to make sure we get that defense nice and high. Body shape looks like defined for most builds, and we'll move on to the attributes. So one thing I will say about Anthony Davis is, although you do see him take threes and long middies fairly regularly, he's not very good. He's not a very good shooter at all. He doesn't hit them at a really high clip. He's definitely an interior scorer. Pick and roll, catches lobs, goes down in the post. Gets those offensive rebounds every now and again, and also a fantastic defender. So this build is definitely going to be more of a two-way slasher with some playmaking ability as well, because we all know that he was a point guard in his younger years as a teenager, and then he had a massive growth spurt. So he's got that point guard skill on the ball. So in saying that, we're going to push close shot to 85. I just love 85 close shot for most bigs because it gives you that gold fast twitch, and also 85 close shot's a decent rating. It's quite decent. It's not elite, 90 plus, but 85 should be more than enough for most skilled players. In terms of driving layup, we are going to push that to 89. So at 88, you get the long athlete layup packages, which is a great layup package, and then one more gives you the gold slithery finisher, which is actually in tier 1, so that's really great to have in tier 1. Now for driving dunk, he has had some pretty decent posters in his career, particularly with the Pelicans, so we're going to push driving dunk to 84 to get the pros off 1 and 2, 85 to get that silver posterizer, then 86 to get that gold limbless takeoff, which is only in tier 2 as well, so that can be one of your badges that you can equip to get your 10 to move into tier 3 to get that fast twitch and posterizer badges. So for standing dunk, we're also going to get 80 standing dunk with this build also. So you will have the pro big man contact dunks because you are 6'10". So you'll have pretty much all the contact dunks available except for the elite big man contact dunks and the elite contact dunks off 1 and 2. So you just have the pros in both categories, but that should be enough because, most skilled players can get away with, just having the pros. They should come in handy. You got a really high close shot and driving lap anyway, so that should just complement each other. Now for post control, we are going to push that to an 82. So at 80, you get all the post badges gold, and then I had a couple points left over just to push post control to 82, just to get an extra badge point. So you have the 26 finishing badges. Now for shooting, like I said, he's quite actually a horrific shooter for the amount of threes that he takes. He only takes 1.5 threes a game, but he has had seasons where he's taken upwards of 2.5. And he only shoots at 30%, so he's quite a poor 3-point shooter. He does, when I do watch the Lakers, I do notice that he settles a lot for those 3-point shots, so he really can't hit them. I wish he would drive more. But in saying that, we are going to push free throw to 70 because he is quite a decent free throw shooter. He shoots 80% from the free throw line. And although I would have loved to get it to 80, I just didn't have the points left over to bump free throw much higher. But 70's okay. Free throws are a bit difficult this 2K, particularly in the rec center. If you're playing with latency, that can be very hard to time right unless you've got a high free throw. So if you wanted to bump that up, definitely tinker with the build. Now for playmaking, like I said, he was a point guard in his younger years as a teenager before he had that growth spurt. So we're going to push pass accuracy to just a 76, just to get the LeBron pass package and animations, and then also the gold break starter with the extra badge point at 76. Now for ball handle, we are going to push that to an 80. So there are some dribble animations that you can get at this height with an 80 ball control. I'm not sure, I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure would only be less than a handful of animations that you can actually get with a ball handle above 80. You'll have most of them available to you with an 80 ball handle. Now for speed with ball, we're just going to push that to 67. At 65, you get the Joel Embiid dribble style. So there's no need to go any much higher, and at 67 we just get the extra badge points. So that'll be all for playmaking with the 17 badge points. Now for defense, this is really where Anthony Davis shines as a player, I believe. Is his defense is elite. You know, it's a shame he hasn't won a Defensive Player of the Year, just probably due to injuries. But he's been a 3-time blocks leader. He's been a 4-time All-NBA defensive player to go along with 4 All-NBA selections. So he's definitely a fantastic defender, one of the best of his era. So we're going to push interior defense to 88. So at 88, you just get the gold post lockdown. So I just find if you want to be a really great post defender, you can get that gold in tier 1. Perimeter defense, he's got an ability to switch out on the guards because he's quite, athletic. I'm not sure how his body holds up now, but definitely in his prime he could do that. So we're going to push perimeter defense to 76 just to get that silver pick dodger, and of course, gold ankle braces if that interests you. Now for steal, we are going to push that to a 78. So at 78, we just get that silver interceptor. And you only get the glove bronze, but of course we can't get our steal to 85 to get it silver anyway. Interceptors there at 78, which I think is a good level for us for a big. Most of the time you'll be trying to defend the paint, or you'll be playing a lot off the ball, and silver interceptor is enough to at least get the deflection to a teammate, or mostly get steals yourself. I have silver interceptor on my big, and I'll get plenty of steals in the passing lanes. Now for block, he's a 3-time block leader, so there's not a lot of players currently playing that have been a blocks leader that many times. So what we're going to do is we're going to max it out. So you're going to have a Hall of Fame anchor and Hall of Fame pogo stick, so you'll be an elite rim protector. Having Hall of Fame anchor is fantastic. Any of those backdoor cuts that people get, you'll be able to challenge them at the rim with the Hall of Fame pogo stick, get up really quick, and they'll have a really tough time scoring those points on you. Now for offensive rebound, we are just going to push that to a 73. That's just as high as I could get it to. It also gives you the extra badge points. That's why it's 73. But of course, if you wanted to be more of an offensive board monster, definitely bump this up a bit higher. He only averages around 2.5 offensive boards out of his 10 for his career. So only about a quarter of them are coming from offensive rebounds, which is probably average for most bigs that I've seen. Now for defensive rebound, we are going to push that to a 94. So at 93, you do get the gold rebound chaser. And then at 94, you get the Hall of Fame box out beast, which is in tier 2, which is great. But I wanted to get that Hall of Fame box out beast because the strength will be staying at 63, as you can see there. I won't be upgrading the strength. And having the Hall of Fame box out beast will just help mitigate, those really powerful interior centers that have, the 99 rebounding. I still find with my center only has 76 strength with gold box out beast. I still get plenty of rebounds over those interior centers because most of them, as long as you box them out correctly and you go up, you time the rebound correctly, most of them can't out rebound you anyway. They do get, every now and again they do get, they are able to, like the worm badge of recent years, they are able to get in front of you on offensive boards, but generally I say 9 out of 10 times you're getting that defensive rebound if you time it correctly and get position early. Now for physicals, we are going to push speed to a 70. Obviously speed's not terribly important in this 2K. Acceleration is going to go to 72, which is only a couple below the max, so you're not losing too much at all from just dropping that down 2 points. Strength, like I said, is staying at 63, but of course, if you're worried about the strength, definitely upgrade that. You'll have to sacrifice some points elsewhere and maybe some badge tiers, but if you're worried about it, definitely upgrade the strength. Now for vertical, we do need a 75 vert for the contact dunks and stamina. The rest is going to go on stamina for 91 stamina, and that's the build. So in total, you have the 26 finishing, 0 shooting, 17 playmaking, and 27 defensive badges, for a total of 70 badges on this pretty much 2-way slashing playmaker type of build at power forward. He's 6'10", you've got the pro and the contact dunks off 1 and 2, and the pro big man contact dunks. You've got goal post moves, 80 ball handles, so you'll be able to take other bigs off the dribble. You've got 99 blocks to go with, pretty much goal rebounding with Hall of Fame box out beast. A good level of stealing in the pass lanes, and of course the really great interior defense with that gold post lockdown and Hall of Fame anchor. So Very well-rounded defensive slashing build. In terms of the takeovers, it chose Paint Intimidation because he's a fantastic rim protector, and then Stuff Blocks as well because he's been a 3-time blocks champ. But as you can see, you've got shades of Alvin Hayes, Evan Mobley, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. So Evan Mobley's definitely got traits of Anthony Davis as a young player. You know, he's a really good shot blocker. You know, he's 6'10"ish, got really long arms, really athletic. He could definitely be an Anthony Davis of the future. And you've made a 2-way interior finisher. We'll take a look at the badges. Now for finishing, it depends what you want to make. You know, you've got 26 points here, so it's quite a lot. If you want to be more of a driver, I suggest, you know, Limitless Takeoff is great. Slithery Finisher there, you can get gold. Just to be a bit more effective with the badge points, I'll just drop Slithery to silver and Fearless Finisher to bronze, just so we can head to tier 3, so that we can, you know, core fast switch gold, get Posterizer on silver, get Rise Up on silver, so you can get all your tier 3 badges to a max level and still have 4 points left over. If you want to be a post player as well, if you wanted the versatility to have both, you could definitely put Drop Stepper on silver with Back Down Punisher on silver. But if you don't really care much for the post moves, you can always set up a badge layout to be a driver and then another one to be a post player. You've got that versatility. You've also got the versatility, like I just showed, to be able to do both with a badge layout. But if it was me, I'd love to be more of a slasher. So I want to push Slithery Finisher up to gold, Fearless Finisher up to gold, and then of course you've got the one left over. Maybe Acrobat might be good just to help with those Euro steps and reverse laps and things like that. Now for shooting, when you make the badge, if you make the build, you can put an extra badge into shooting just to get slippery off ball. It's just a really handy badge to have if you've got that ability to get it, just to help move around the court. It's really handy. Now for playmaking, you know, you can make something really great with the 17 badges here. So, you know, Clamp Breakers in tier 1, you can get that silver. You know, a lot of centers and bigs may not have great perimeter defense. I'd say most of them are getting great perimeter defense now, but you don't see many 6'10" power forwards that have silver Clamp Breaker. So you can get that in tier 1. You also got killer combos in tier 1 as well at silver, so that can help with your size ups and things like that, with all those animations you can get with 80 ball handle. You've also got handles for days in tier 1, so you know, there's 5 points there. You can go down to tier 3, get quick first step on silver, and then from here, just be a bit more effective with the badge points, just so we can get to tier 2. I'll just unequip these, put Break Starter on, and maybe keep handles for days on just to get our 10. And you can come down here and put Unpluckable on silver. So, you know, you won't get stripped as much. You know, you got silver Unpluckable. Most people are trying to strip you will think you don't have that at all. But having that, you'll have the confidence to be able to dribble a lot, particularly in the rec center if you wanted to do that. Obviously, you can get other badges like Post Playmaker, Needle Threader, and Dimer if you wanted to be more of a playmaker. But for me, I'd probably just want to be a slasher off the dribble, and having Clamp Breaker, killer combos. You've still got 3 left over. You can get maybe Bailout just to help if you get caught at the rim taking a really bad shot. So that could be a really great layout for a slasher power forward at 6'10". And then for defense, you know, there's a lot you can do here. I'm just going to push, get things to our 10 points, just so I can show you what you can get at tier 3. So what you can do is you can core anchor, get Pogo Stick on Hall of Fame as well, and then get Rebound Chaser and still have 2 points left over to possibly, you know, put a bit of extra points in defense to get maybe Chase Down Artist, bronze or silver to get those animations. You know, you can put Post Lockdown on silver. You put Menace if you like bumping your opponents. There's a lot you can do. I like Off-Ball Pest because, you know, you see a lot of players doing those backdoor cuts. Not having this at all makes you really susceptible to those backdoor cuts. They just blow by you. But having this at a decent level at least gives you a chance to stop them every now and again. It's very good these days, or it has been. Very effective on offensive players, so Off-Ball Pest become a decent badge to have. But that could be a really great layout. You know, you've got the 3 Hall of Fame badges there to go with Gold Rebound Chaser. All in all, that's the build. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a really great day.